Hi, this is Editor Troxel. In today's tutorial, we want to look at a timeline and find the first selected event, and then we're assuming we only have one selected event, and then we want to highlight or select all of the events on the timeline that are from that same file. Now we're going to add a flag in there so that if, for example, we have picked a video, it will only pick video events that are from the same file, or we can have it flagged so that if we pick just the video event, it will pick all video and audio events from that same file, or vice versa with the audio only. So let's look at a timeline and see what we're looking for, and then we'll look at the script to see how we do this. Here is the timeline, and I have this adventure intro video event selected, and what we want to do is when we run it, we want it to look for every adventure intro and go ahead and select that one and that one and that one, and optionally these four as well, the audio events. So once one from that particular file is selected, everything else on the timeline from that same file will also be selected, or everything that's the same type will also be selected. Here's the script we're going to look at. We have all of our standard stuff here at the top, all the way down through the my Vegas equals Vegas. And then I have a variable here. This says match event type, which we can change to true or false, depending on whether or not we only want it to match the same type of event. Then we have a track event, which is our selected event, which I set to null to begin with. And so we're going to go through and see if we can find a selected event. So we go for each track, my track in myvegas.project.tracks, for each track event, my event in mytrack.events, if my event.selected. If this event is selected, then the selected event is my event. So we will set this variable up here to the selected event, and then we're going to break because we don't need to look any further. So this little section right here will go through every track and every event until we find the selected event, and then set our selected event variable equal to the event that was selected. Now, if selected event does not equal null, in other words, something was selected, then we're going to go through this next set of loops. For each track, my track in myvegas.project.tracks, for each track event, my event in mytrack.events. Now, I'm adding this in here. This is just in case we have an adjustment event or an empty event on there. That way we can look to see if my event.takes.count is greater than 0. If there is a take to look at, then I look at if my event.activeTake.mediaPath, if the path of the event that I'm looking at equals the selected event.activeTake.mediaPath, then this is one that I want to look at if they match. If match event type, if we are matching only the type, then if the mytrack.mediaType equals selected event.mediaType, then we set it selected equals to true. Now, if match event type is false, we don't care if it's matching the same video or audio, then we come down here and do the else, and we just set my event.selected equal to true. So if match event type is false, as long as the media path matches, we want to select it to true. If match event type is true, then we want to make sure that the types match before setting it equal to true. And then we end it with our standard entry point. So now let's see how this works. So here I have a video event selected, and it is set to true, so it should select only the video events that match this. And there you can see the other 3 video events were selected. Now let's select this audio event and run it again. Now you can see the other 3 audio events were selected. Now let's select this video again, and let's go in and change the script, and let's change the match event type to false. Now when we run it, notice it selected both the video and the audio, and this one it added the audio, video plus audio, video plus audio. So if you need to be able to quickly select everything from the same media that's on the timeline, this is a little script that you can run it 2 different ways. You can actually save it 2 different ways and have 2 different buttons on the screen if you want. And it will let you select everything of the same type or everything simply from the same file, both video plus audio. So I hope you find this tutorial useful. Like, subscribe, leave me messages, and let me know what you'd like to see in the future. We'll see you in the next tutorial.